आज हमारा ऑफिस में थर्ड डे है, बट फिट आउट का काम अभी भी ख़त्म नहीं हुआ। इस तरफ का ऑफिस पूरा मैसी हो रखा है। आप कभी भी हमारे ऑफिस में आते हो तो यहाँ पे खड़े होके हम पिक्चर्स क्लिक कराएंगे आपके साथ।
Obviously, we know the location of Dubai is amazing, right? It connects Asia to the Western world. And then obviously, businesses want to open in Dubai because it attracts a lot of international workers, skilled workers.
हेलो एवरीवन, सत श्री अकाल जी एंड वेलकम बैक टू आवर चैनल वंस अगेन। आप सबका किरपा के नए ऑफिस में स्वागत है। आप सबने देख ही लिया होगा हमारे सारे सोशल मीडिया पे कि हम अभी अभी किरपा के नए ऑफिस में मूव हुए हैं बिजनेस वे में। 3 दिन पहले, 3 दिन नहीं 2 दिन पहले, आज थर्ड डे है। सो आज हमारा ऑफिस में थर्ड डे है, बट फिट आउट का काम अभी भी ख़त्म नहीं हुआ। सिर्फ वर्क स्टेशंस रेडी है और इस साइड का ऑफिस पूरा रेडी है, बट उस तरफ अभी पूरा काम चल रहा है। मैं वो भी दिखाऊंगी आपको, बट आई जस्ट वांटेड टू थैंक यू ऑल जिन्होंने हमें सपोर्ट किया, प्यार दिखाया, किरपा के नए ऑफिस को प्यार दिखाया। थैंक यू सो मच, रियली अप्रिशिएट। तो आज हमारा ट्रेनिंग सेशन है ऑफिस में मिस्टर जय सिंह चत्था के साथ और वो हमें आज ट्रेन कर रहे हैं कमर्शियल प्रॉपर्टीज़ पे। तो हम आज सीखेंगे कि कमर्शियल प्रॉपर्टीज़ की क्या डिमांड है, कैसे आप बाय कर सकते हो और क्या अपॉर्चुनिटीज़ है कमर्शियल को लेके। तो आज ट्रेनिंग सेशन है, 1-1.5 घंटे का होगा। वो भी आपको पूरा ट्रेनिंग सेशन दिखाएंगे। पहले मैं फिट आउट का दिखा देती हूँ। आजे फिर देख सकते हो आप, उस तरफ का ऑफिस पूरा रेडी है, इस तरफ का ऑफिस पूरा मैसी हो रखा है। तो वो हमारे सारे मीटिंग रूम्स होंगे। मीटिंग रूम नंबर 1, रूम नंबर 2, रूम नंबर 3, और दिस इज़ गोना बी अ ओपन एरिया। यहाँ पे कॉफ़ी शॉप नहीं, सिटिंग एरिया होगा जहाँ पे आप बैठ के कॉफ़ी पी सकते हो। टीम भी पी सकती है कॉफ़ी बैठ के, और आप जब आप हमें मिलने आओगे तो यहाँ पे आराम से बैठ के चिल कर सकते हो। दिस इज़ द स्टेज एरिया। स्टेज भी अभी फुली कंप्लीट नहीं है। तो आप कभी भी हमारे ऑफिस में आते हो तो यहाँ पे खड़े होके हम पिक्चर्स क्लिक कराएंगे आपके साथ। ऊपर लोगो भी लगेगा इसके। एंड दिस साइड वी गोना हैव अ कॉफ़ी शॉप। यहाँ पे प्रॉपर कॉफ़ी शॉप बना रहे हैं हम, किरपा कैफ़े। तो इसको थोड़ा टाइम लगेगा, आई थिंक 15-20 दिन और मे बी 1 मंथ लग जाएगा, क्योंकि ये लास्ट में करना है। ये वाला उस तरफ का काम ज़्यादा इम्पॉर्टेंट है, ये एंड में करना है हमने। तो हमारे पास प्रॉपर ब्रिस्टा होगा जो आपको यमी यमी कॉफ़ीज़ बना के देगा। सिर्फ चाय नहीं मिलेगी, बाकी सब कुछ मिलेगा यहाँ पे, क्योंकि चाय बनाने में थोड़ा तामझाम ज़्यादा है और यहाँ पे गैस रखना पड़ेगा, तो वो अलाउड नहीं है यहाँ पे ऑफिसेज में गैस रखना। एनीवेज, थैंक यू सो मच जी फॉर सपोर्टिंग एंड शोइंग ऑल द लव एंड सपोर्ट। तो अब हम ट्रेनिंग स्टार्ट करते हैं। टीम अभी धीरे धीरे करके आ रही है, 9:30 हो रहे हैं। तो आज थोड़ा सा मैंने सबको बोला कि आराम से आओ, 10 बजे ट्रेनिंग स्टार्ट करते हैं, क्योंकि सब लोग बहुत थके हुए हैं। मैं खुद बहुत थकी हुई थी पिछले 2-3 दिन से। हम इतनी भाग दौड़ कर रहे हैं बिकॉज वी वर शिफ्टिंग। हमने सुखनी साहब का पाठ रखवाया था 2 दिन पहले, तो बहुत बिजी थे। तो इसीलिए रात के 1-1, 2-2 बजे घर जाना, नींद नहीं पूरी होनी, सुबह 6 बजे उठ के आ जाना। तो आज भी मैं तो सुबह 7 बजे आ गई थी, बट आई वांटेड एवरीवन टू रिलैक्स, थोड़ा सा टेक इट ईजी करना चाहती थी। तो वो हो गया। अब 10 बजे हमारी ट्रेनिंग सेशन स्टार्ट है। स्टे ट्यून, मिलते हैं फिर ट्रेनिंग में। बाय बाय।
We're going to go through all of these things today. I'll give you a little introduction, very simple. Why Dubai? So why should somebody invest in Dubai? This is something you will say for residential and commercial, it doesn't matter, but it's important to reinforce this every time, because most of your clients will be new to Dubai. They don't know much about it. And the last presentation I gave you kind of explored or explained everything, but this is just a slide about why Dubai again. Okay, market trends. So this is really important because this is the data that's backing your opinion or your feedback or your, let's say, advice to the client, right? If you're giving advice to your client, you need to back it using the market data from relevant or approved sources, right? The biggest source of data in Dubai is the Dubai Land Department, okay? And there's many websites which use that data from Dubai Land Department and show it to you. Maybe you know or use some of these websites like DXB Interact, okay? There's a few more maybe you don't know about, but Property Monitor, Read-In, right? Prop Search, Okay, so these are just some of the websites you can use to get more information about the data, about rent, how much is the rent, how much is the selling price for certain buildings, specific units. So you can find all that from those websites. So I will go through market trends. I'll go through the benefits of commercial investment, key zones in Dubai for commercial investment, what to look for. So what should investors be looking for when they invest in commercial, case studies, any risks to consider. So your clients will ask you, oh, what if I don't rent my property, right? Or what if I don't do this? What if I don't do that? Then I'll go through those objections or risks that you should consider as well. And then obviously how you can help your investor, okay? At the end, we'll have a Q&A. So introduction, very simple. What is commercial real estate? Commercial real estate is not just offices, but it includes retail spaces. So retail spaces like your showrooms, shops, right? Restaurants, that kind of thing. Warehouses. So when you go to Jebel Ali, you will see a lot of warehouses. That's also under commercial real estate. And mixed use developments. Mixed use meaning they could be a shopping mall which has offices, retail, restaurants, right? That's a mixed use development. That also comes under commercial real estate, okay? Who invests in commercial real estate? So not your everyday average person invests in commercial real estate because it's not somewhere you live, it's not something it's not an emotional buy, right? It's purely investors. So these investors are institutional. By institutional, I mean big companies, big companies, investment companies, public companies that buy into commercial real estate. Those are called institutional investors, okay? Funds, property funds. So funds are basically, it's a pool of money, okay? A lot of investors put their money into a fund which is managed by somebody and they invest into commercial real estate, okay? So funds also buy. Then you have family offices. So what are family offices? Family offices are basically an investment company which is owned by a family, right? So a family that is very rich, they have a lot of money, personal money. So what they do is they create a family office, which is the investment company, and they hire people to manage the money. So it's like a fund, but it's not different investors, it's just one family's money, okay? So family offices, you'll encounter them someday. Then you have private individuals, so a normal person that is an investor, he has his own money, he just wants to invest, okay? So even those people are putting in money into commercial. So why Dubai? So this is an easy question to answer now for you, all of you, but I'll just go through it. So strategic global hub. Obviously, we know the location of Dubai is amazing, right? It connects Asia to the Western world, right? So that's why it's location-wise, it's amazing. There's no income tax for individuals. We already know that. And there has been no announcement about when or if it's going to come. Low corporate tax. So we know there is a corporate tax which companies have to pay on any profit above a certain number, right? So we know about this, and it's only 9%. So if we compare it to other countries, so I've compared it to Australia, for example. Australia is 25% to 30%, right? India is 15 to 22%, okay? UK is 25%. Canada is about 26%. So you can see Dubai is, or UAE is the lowest out of all of these countries. Then you have, obviously, before, like a few years ago, if you wanted to open a company here, a mainland company, you needed a sponsor, right? Who would own 51%. But now the rules have changed. Now you can own your company 100% in the mainland. And then there are free zones. I'm sure you've heard of some free zones here. In the free zones, there's no rule. There was never a rule like that. That's the point of the free zone. You can own your company in the free zone 100%, okay? So that's really good because in some countries, Muslim countries, or even, let's say if I go to China, for example, they have rules on foreigners. Here, it's not as strict, okay? So that's good. So why is there high demand right now in Dubai? It's because businesses, a lot of businesses, Western businesses, are relocating here, okay, because they see the opportunity, or they're opening a branch, okay, or they're opening another office, because there is a lot of relocation of people as well, right? So the more population that comes into Dubai, the more businesses there will be, right? And I'll explain some numbers in the next slide. So again, population growth. We know over the past 5 years, the population has gone up almost 30%, right? So that's a big increase just for Dubai. And then global investor interest. So global investors, like people who invest everywhere in the world, they're interested in UAE and Dubai because of the, let's say, the strong population growth, the infrastructure, everything else, all those little things, right? Like the world-class infrastructure, connectivity. We know Dubai is connected by air, right? It has the second busiest airport in the world. That for passengers, but also for cargo, right? Then you have the ports, the Jebel Ali port. There's another port in Abu Dhabi. These are very busy, right? And there's a lot of oil that flows through this part of the sea. So that's why, these are one of the reasons why global investors are interested. Then you have obviously safety. Safety is one of the things, so people can live here peacefully. The registration of property and security that you get from the government if you own a property is very strong, right? So you get a title deed if you own a property. No one can take that away from you in Dubai. So that's why people are more interested. And political and economic stability. So UAE is a very neutral country, right? They don't get involved in any wars or anything like that. And they're very safe, secure, and stable, right? In terms of economics, like their economy is very stable, as well as the politics. So they have a very neutral stance on everything, okay? And then obviously businesses want to open in Dubai because it attracts a lot of international workers, skilled workers, right? So there's a talent pool inside UAE which those businesses can tap into. That's why Dubai is becoming that kind of, you explain why Dubai, but you need to explain the numbers, right? So let's say, not let's say, but if you look at the office rents, okay, over the past 1 year, they have gone up at an average of 45%. So now you know there's a lot of demand and a lot of increase in the price. So now you have to look at the supply. What does supply mean? Supply means how many empty offices are there, right? And how many offices are coming up, okay? So in the next 2 years, we're going to have between 2.5 to 3 million square feet of grade A office space. So grade A office space means the highest quality of office space you can get. A grade A office building is a very, let's say, it's at the top, it's the best quality you can get in an office building, right? And there's not many of those office buildings. If you go down to places like DIFC, most of those buildings are grade A office buildings. You will see the quality difference. You will see why, right? Why it's a grade A office building. So this 2.5 to 3 million square feet is just in the grade A office buildings. An interesting fact, most of those buildings that are being built under construction, right, they're already pre-leased. So people have already put down deposits to lease those units before they're even ready. So that shows you how much demand there is, right? Okay. Supply remains limited. So if you look at today's market and what is available that's ready, supply is very limited. If you try to find an office to rent in today's market, it's going to be very hard for you, especially if you're looking at a certain size, right? And I will tell you which sizes or size ranges are popular right now. And that's where people want offices. So if you're buying an office, you want to buy an office which is very popular, right, in terms of the size. So I'll explain what those sizes are. But if you go into the market today and try to find an office, it's going to be very difficult for you, especially in the prime areas like Business Bay, downtown DIFC. insanely difficult. We also had the struggle of finding an office ourselves, right? So over the past few months, we were looking here and there, couldn't find the right size, couldn't find the right price, so it became very difficult. But now, obviously, we got the office, but it took us a long time. So everybody is facing the same problem. Whatever offices are available, they're either very, very expensive, or they're not the right size, or not the right building. Okay, so you're going to see that a lot. Next, if you look at new deliveries, so new deliveries are only focused in prime, very, very prime areas. If you go outside of the prime areas, if you go outside of Business Bay downtown, you will see there's not much going on in terms of offices. And that's where you will get most of the demand coming up, right? Yes, demand is here, but because the office prices have gone up so much, people are trying to find offices far away, right? Like Production City, like Dubai Investments Park. These areas are now, the growth is happening there now, okay? So in terms of rental yield, so what can you expect as a commercial investor? Now, there's a big range, right, of properties. You can buy a very expensive property and get a lot of rent. You can buy a very cheap property and still get a good return. So it depends on the property, depends on the location, but the range is the same as residential or even higher sometimes. Why? Because in commercial, there's a lot of ways you can increase the rent, right? You can have a very nice fit out. By fit out, I mean, you know, the flooring, the ceiling, the glass work, the cabins. You can make it look very nice and charge a higher rent. And it's easier to do that in commercial than residential, right? So I'll go through some of the ways you can improve your commercial unit later. There is a lot, 70,000 businesses, or 70,500 new businesses were registered in the last 1 year. That means they all need an office, right? In Dubai, there's a rule that if you want to open an office, open a business or a company, you need an office at the same time. You can't open your company without an office, okay? So that office could be, it could be a flexi desk, it could be a small, very, very small office, but you need something, okay? So that's why the demand for offices has gone up, 70,000 new companies, which is the highest ever in Dubai, okay? Then you have to look at finance and tech companies. So a lot of finance and tech companies have come into the city, and over 50% of all the new offices have been rented by these two industries. Okay, so that's important to tell your client, because they will ask you, okay, which companies, right? So now you know finance and tech are the most in demand. Grade A shortage. So again, supply is very low. Whatever is ready in Dubai right now, 98% of it is already occupied in the prime areas, like DIFC, Business Bay, downtown, okay? So 98% occupancy is there, which is the highest ever, again. Well, there was a time in the late 2000s where the same thing happened, but that's when a lot of commercial development happened. But this time it's a little bit different, because I'll tell you why. There's not enough land for more commercial buildings to come up. So this is a big issue, and the government will have to do something about it. Otherwise, the rent will keep increasing, okay? Tenants prioritize efficiency. So what does this mean? The companies are being pushed to use the space better, right? So that's why work from home became a thing, even now, right? It's still there because you don't have enough space in the offices anymore. Because if you are expanding, right, if you're expanding as a company, you need more office space. But if you can't get more office space, you have to figure out a different way, a solution to that. So there's a lot of solutions companies have come up with. One of them being, okay, we'll have hybrid work. You come into the office twice a week. You come into the office, you know, you stay at home 3 days a week. That kind of shift has happened already in Dubai. So that's important to know so that you can tell your clients, yes, Dubai has a lot of offices coming up, but most of the offices that are ready now have been forced to move their people home, right? So that's kind of what's going on. Flex workspaces expand. So what does this mean? If you go to do you guys know what a business center is or a co-working space? I'm sure you've seen them, right? They have very, very small offices and they have an open plan layout where you can sit anywhere you like. So there's been a huge increase in those business centers and co-working spaces because small companies who cannot afford a big office, right? They need a very, very small office, maybe enough for 4 to 5 people. So they get a very small office in those business centers. So that increase has gone up too. And especially, let's say, offices below 5,000 square feet, that's where most of the demand is, okay? So if you're telling your client, if the client asks you, okay, what size should we buy, right? You can say this is where the demand is. Below 5,000 square feet, that's where most of the demand is. All right, so this goes through all of the upcoming buildings, right? Now, I won't go through all of them, but I'll just tell you the red ones are the super prime buildings, meaning they are in the prime locations and most of them are already pre-leased. So we have to take them out of the supply, right? The white ones, these are basically apartment buildings which have some office space in them. But if you have an office, you wouldn't want to be in an apartment building, right? So the demand will be lower for these. So I will take them out as well. The green ones are the ones you can focus on, right? If they're available. I'm not sure they are, but if they are available or if, you know, whatever is coming up in these areas, this is where you should be targeting, right? So if you look at the total supply in the entire market, it's about a little bit over 5 million square feet, right? Entire market over the next, how many years? Until 2029, okay? So that's it, that's all we have. But out of this, how much is the real supply that people can actually rent, right? You're looking at less than 2 million square feet. Overall, this is all over the market. This is all we have over the next 3 years, okay? So that's not enough to supply what is needed for people, especially for, let's say, you know the range of demand, right? It's from 1,100 square feet all the way up to 20,000 square feet. So imagine the number of companies in each of those segments and only having 2 million square feet to lease. It's going to be very difficult for the market to keep up. So what does that mean? That means that the demand is very high and it's increasing year by year over the next 3 years, right? That's the projection, but the supply is not enough for them. So what will happen? Companies will start fighting over offices. When they fight over offices, the rents will keep going up. The more the rent will go up, the more return you will make as a investor.
Okay guys, I hope this training session was informative for you guys. हमारे लिए तो बहुत इन्फॉर्मेटिव था, पूरी टीम के लिए बहुत इन्फॉर्मेटिव था. थैंक यू सो मच फॉर वाचिंग दिस ब्लॉग. अगर आपको कोई और क्वेश्चन हो मेरे लिए, जय के लिए, कृपा की टीम के लिए, अभी कमेंट करके बता दें. और ऐसे ही हम और भी ट्रेनिंग सेशन अरेंज करते रहेंगे, आपको भी एजुकेट करते रहेंगे, अपने आप को भी एजुकेट करते रहेंगे. सो थैंक यू सो मच फॉर वाचिंग दिस ब्लॉग. हैव अ वंडरफुल डे एंड डोंट फॉरगेट टू सब्सक्राइब my channel right now. Bye bye.